Welcome, everybody, and this is your introduction to the Logix Academy times Google AI Educator series. We're super excited to bring this to you in partnership with Google for Education. My name is Bill Corcoran, and I'm a senior education strategist with Logix Academy, and we're looking forward to hosting you along this journey and this series. So one thing is that we want to highlight, and this is from the chief technologist at Google, is that our goal and the Google's goal isn't to replace the essential human elements of learning and teaching, but to support educators and to make learning more effective, efficient, and engaging, not just for school, but for work and lifelong curiosity. And we hope throughout this series, you recognize that we will be human first and human centric all the way, and that AI is viewed as a tool to support us along the way. So for this introduction to the series, we're going to go over some series overview and learning goals. And your learning objectives for this and this AI Educator series together is to really be able to grasp a hold and define what generative AI is, and to utilize Google Gemini to support you in your learning material, your lesson creation, and your streamlining of your everyday tasks. We want to give you practical strategies to save, and we use the word reallocate time because we know saving time is great, but putting it towards what you can use more purposefully, whether it's working with students or interacting with other humans, is the goal. And us at Logix Academy, we will act as your personal tutor along your journey to support these modules and in attaining your badges through this program. So with Google Gemini, we want Gemini to be your heavy lifter. We want them to be that instructional design thought partner to empower you to become the best you can across your classroom. So generative AI represents a shift from simple search tools to technology that understands context, tone, and complexity. You see the term learning conductor, thought partner, all these are interchangeable as we go through this. And to be able to scale this within your classroom, to scaffold, and to be able to differentiate for your students is what the end goal of this Google AI Educator series is for you through the tool of using Google Gemini. And of course, what does this Google AI Educator series focus on? Well, it's three parts that are interwoven in a lot of cases, but of course, we need foundational understanding. Sometimes that little bit of tool-based understanding can drive you moving forward. And ultimately for you in the education sector, we want to be able to look at that pedagogy. How does this apply to your learning environment within your classroom? How does it allow you to use these administrative applications to help solve? So it's not always that you're going to be on a Chromebook or on a device. It's that you can use these to help streamline administrative applications so that you can spend more time with your students and colleagues in person. And of course, why does this Google AI Educator series work? Well, the term snackable and stackable is forefront. What this means is they are small, bite-sized learning experiences for you to fit into your busy schedule. We want you to be able to find the time when you can, which is hard, we know, to be able to find these opportunities. And great for us with Logix, like we said, we're going to be your tutor for these modules so that you can get your badge quicker and with more certainty in context. And of course, the Google AI Educator series is focused on educator needs, created in partnership with ISTE, which is an International Society for Technology Education. And they want to put you first with their standards and connecting this to the profile of an AI-ready graduate. And if this series is going to be constantly updated, it's not going to be stagnant. So constant updates are going to be coming from Google starting as soon as tools change, which is amazing to hear. So this is us. We are going to offer you 10 sessions for you to go into through this Google AI Summit series. And then at the end of that, you can earn a micro badge for each learning focus and a quick recap of the content. So we'll explain more throughout the series as we go on that front. But we do need to step back a little bit and ground ourselves in an understanding of what AI is. So artificial intelligence, and not just artificial intelligence, because that's been around for quite a while, the term generative AI. And generative AI is most something where the root word is generate. You are generating things that haven't existed before, but are based on a data set that has been given to it. You can see in this image that there are so many elements of a web of artificial intelligence, but essentially we are looking at providing a prompt with instructions to create something, whether you're composing text or a code or a diagram or even an image and video. So these are things that can be created using the data set that it has been getting. And we do note that it can be inherently biased based on the data in Western civilization and in the world that's getting it. It continues to get better, but it is only using the patterns it recognizes from the data that it's been given. And so in here, again, we just highlight that these patterns that it picks up, the structures of these large data sets, is the only reason why it's creating this output, and not because there's a human element to the artificial intelligence. And again, to reemphasize, and this will be the theme throughout the whole series, is that generative AI is a tool. It is not a replacement for critical thinking at all. We need to keep the human in the middle and the professionalism of it as well. Can it make mistakes? Of course it can make mistakes. We do need to double check information, and we always need to fact check to make sure that it is true and the sources are reputable. And of course, AI is only a technology. It's not a human. It cannot think for itself. Again, it's just a good pattern picker-upper, and that's an official term. So we need to keep the human in the loop. So we're going to kind of go back through safe and responsible use through one of the programs that Google has been kind of moving forward called Be Internet Awesome. On the right-hand side of this image, you see there are three terminologies that have been kind of the evolution of what we had with kind of making sure people can be safe and secure and productive online. From digital citizenship to digital literacy and now AI literacy, they're all components of very similar end goals. Of course, AI literacy focused on the artificial intelligence component, but as you will see from the digital literacy and digital citizenship lens of understanding AI through Be Internet Awesome, a lot of these are very prevalent and are interwoven. So we're going to highlight some of them because this program, highlighted at grades 2 to 8, is really understandable. A lot of these ideas can be applicable to all. So moving forward, what is private information? Why should we keep it private? What does that mean to respect other people's privacy? How can we be smarter on the internet? And then, of course, how can we be internet alert? How can we learn about identities and prevent items and to trust and to recognize these scams or even fake news, those type of things? And how do we be careful about whom we are interacting with, whether it's AI or not? So you can see these terms from the Be Internet Awesome program flowing through even artificial intelligence as we go through. And of course, Unit 3, the goals are all about being internet strong, what happens, and to understand what your digital footprint means as you are interacting on the web, and what does that mean to you and to others as you make the choices you make, and what does that mean down the line. And then Unit 4 really focuses on being kind, and then focusing on empathy and how we interact with people and understanding the impact of our actions online for good and for next steps. And lastly, with the Be Internet Awesome framework, it's all about being internet brave, like being able to not hide behind all the possible risks, but taking innovations and calculated and prescribed next steps within the program. So that's really focused on how we support our students and our learners along the way. And the ISD and ASCD has kind of just recently thrown out the profile of an AI-ready graduate. And you can see that within all those end goals, these are the 6 sort of pillars that they are focusing on: using AI as a learner, as a problem solver, a connector, a storyteller, a synthesizer, and a researcher. So you can see that as the students go and they go through all the grades K to 12 and they go into their post-secondary next steps, or even just graduate into the world of the workforce. These are the areas that we're trying to focus on. And that does connect with, again, this being as a student focus, but that's the same for staff as we're learning. In this case, UNESCO, so you can see this is being targeted at the international level, is that sort of human-centered mindset, the ethics of AI are all super important to address from an educator lens. And then, of course, how do we apply this into our education, into our learning, into our pedagogy. And then ultimately, how do we learn as educators? Well, there's professional development. That what does that mean for school districts and divisions? And what does that mean for PD providers to give you the tools that you need to be able to succeed? But ultimately, we're focused on not AI all the time, AI with purpose and AI with the ability to be intentional. And so sometimes there is no need for AI. We don't need to use it just to use it. And the same for technology. And then the idea of exploration or collaborating with it, or even just brainstorming on what you can use it for a topic and then taking it there for as the human in the middle. So this is the idea of what we want to highlight here, is that it's not an all the time thing. It can be a sometimes, and then to be clear on what you are trying to attain, to being clear on using it and what you used it for, and being transparent is the key takeaway with this. So next steps. What are we doing here with the AI Educator Learning Series through Logix and Google? Well, we want you to do a couple things as we launch into our first session. Again, there are 11 more, and we want you to be set up ready for them. So next steps. First one is we want you to register for the 11 remaining sessions. And you can use this at the URL that is on the screen, tinyurl.com/LA, that means for Logix Academy, Google AI ed series. So this will get you to the ability to sign up for the rest of the sessions and to be able to access the recordings afterwards so you can watch it again within the same area. So please register for the 11 remaining sessions. As we go through, they will be super resourceful for you. And then finally, as we get into our concurrent sessions, we want you to leave that event with a badge. There are micro badges for all the next sessions that we're going through. So please use the goo.gle/GES for Google Educator Series to sign up and be ready for where this journey takes us. And of course, we value your feedback in terms of continuing to adjust these sessions, and of course, as an organization, Logix Academy. So please take the time to give some feedback, either by the QR code or by the tinyurl.com/Google AI series-intro. And please give us some constructive feedback. In either way, we appreciate it. And lastly, thank you. Thank you from Google. Thank you for Gemini for Education for the support. And thank you to our team at Logix Academy. We look forward to learning and seeing you soon.